January 15th, 1947. Leimert Park, Los Angeles. The city where dreams come to shine or die. A young mother is strolling with her toddler, the morning sun just breaking through the smog. She spots something in the overgrown lot, pale limbs twisted in the weeds. At first, she thinks it's a discarded store mannequin from some Beverly Hills boutique. Then horror hits. It's a woman, sliced clean in half at the waist, every ounce of blood drained like she'd been emptied for display. Her mouth carved ear to ear in a grotesque, eternal grin. Arms posed overhead, legs spread in a mocking tableau, no blood splatter, no footprints, just perfection in the perversion. This isn't just a murder, it's a statement. And in that instant, America meets its most enduring nightmare, the Black Dahlia. For nearly 8 decades, this case has haunted the nation, from tabloid headlines to true crime podcasts. What really happened to the girl who chased the American dream and found only darkness? Her name was Elizabeth Short. Born July 29, 1924, in Hyde Park, Massachusetts, a classic American suburb where kids played stickball and families scraped by during the Great Depression. Friends called her Betty or Beth. She was the third of 5 daughters. With pale blue eyes that sparkled like the Atlantic and raven black hair she styled after her Hollywood idols. From a young age, Betty devoured movie magazines, dreaming of Tinseltown glamour while her family struggled. When she was just 6, her father, Cleo, vanished, presumed a suicide after his car was found abandoned on a bridge. He'd actually faked his death and resurfaced years later, but the damage was done. Her mother, Phoebe, worked endless hours as a bookkeeper to keep the family afloat. Betty grew up restless, ambitious, battling asthma that kept her indoors but couldn't cage her spirit. At 18, she tracked down her father in Vallejo, California, hoping for a fresh start. But it soured fast. He was controlling, dismissive. She bounced around. Miami, Chicago, back to Boston. Then in Florida, she met Major Matthew Gordon Jr., a decorated Army Air Force pilot. They fell hard. He proposed by telegram from the Pacific Theater. Betty wore his wings proudly, planned a wedding fit for a fairy tale. But in August 1945, just weeks after VJ Day, his plane crashed in India. He was gone. Devastated, Betty pressed on. "I'm going to be a star," she'd tell friends. July 1946. She arrives in Los Angeles, the post-war boom town where GIs were flooding back, studios were churning out films, and opportunity seemed endless. She crashed on friends' couches, worked odd jobs as a waitress, modeled a bit. In Long Beach bars, she turned heads in sheer black dresses, elegant, mysterious. That's where the nickname stuck. The Black Dahlia, inspired by the 1946 film noir, The Blue Dahlia, and her signature look. To Americans then and now, Betty represented the ultimate underdog story, the small-town girl chasing the bright lights, embodying that unbreakable spirit of reinvention. Early January 1947, Los Angeles is buzzing. The Rose Bowl just wrapped. Celebrities like Humphrey Bogart pack the clubs. Betty's life is in flux. Couch surfing, scraping by on charm and odd dates. On January 8th, she meets Robert Red Manley, a 25-year-old married salesman from Huntington Park. He's smitten, drives her around, buys her meals. No romance, he insists, just kindness. January 9th. Red drops her at the iconic Biltmore Hotel downtown, a grand Art Deco palace where presidents stayed and deals were made. She's supposed to meet her sister, Virginia, visiting from Boston. Betty lingers in the lobby. Elegant chandeliers overhead, marble floors underfoot. Witnesses see her making phone calls, perhaps visiting the nearby Crown Grill lounge. Then, she steps out into the bustling streets of Pershing Square and vanishes. 6 days, 144 hours swallowed by the city. What happened in those lost days? Rumors swirled. Was she at a motel, partying with shady Hollywood types? Desperate for work, entangled in something sinister? America would soon learn the truth was far worse. On the morning of the 15th, Betty Ann Short and her mother, Bessie May, stumble upon the body while walking to a shoe repair shop. The toddler points first. Bessie screams. Neighbors rush out. Police arrive to a scene straight from a horror film. The body, bisected with surgical precision. A hemicorporectomy, a technique from the 1930s medical texts. Deep lacerations on thighs and breasts. Chunks of flesh removed. The infamous Glasgow smile slashed with a knife. Her system showed signs of torture, bound, beaten, possibly force-fed feces. Yet the body was washed clean, posed provocatively, legs apart, hands overhead, like a macabre pinup. No blood at the scene meant she was killed elsewhere, drained in a bathtub, then transported. The killer. Someone with medical knowledge, access to a private space, and a twisted artistic flair. This wasn't rage. It was performance art for a shocked nation. Word spreads like wildfire. By noon, reporters from the Los Angeles Examiner and Herald Express swarm the lot, trampling evidence before LAPD can secure it. Fingerprints from an old underage drinking arrest in Santa Barbara identify her quickly via FBI files. The press goes feral. This is the era of yellow journalism where Hearst papers ruled. In a move that still shocks, Examiner reporters call Phoebe Short in Boston. "Congratulations, your daughter won a beauty contest." They pump her for details and the childhood stories, photos, dreams. Then, "Actually, ma'am, she's been murdered." They fly her to LA on their dime, not for comfort, but to monopolize her grief from rivals. Headlines explode. Fiend tortures LA beauty. Werewolf slayer on loose. Black Dahlia's secret life. They paint Betty as a femme fatale. Party girl with dozens of lovers, hints of prostitution, lesbian affairs, all baseless, fueled by sexism and sensationalism. In reality, autopsies showed she was a virgin, but facts didn't sell papers. America can't get enough. From New York to Chicago, families discuss it over dinner. Radio shows speculate. It's the O.J. Simpson trial of its day. The birth of national true crime obsession. Under pressure, LAPD launches its biggest manhunt. 400 officers, door-to-door canvassing. Red Manley is grilled, polygraphed, cleared with an alibi. But his marriage crumbles under the spotlight. Then, January 24th, a package to the Examiner, words clipped from newspapers. Here is Dahlia's belongings. Letter to follow. Inside, birth certificate, photos, an address book belonging to nightclub owner Mark Hansen. Hansen, who let Betty stay at his place, is questioned. 75 names in that book chased down. Nothing sticks. More taunting letters. Black Dahlia Avenger. Promising surrender, then ghosting. Fingerprints, smudged with gasoline. Confessions flood in, 60 in the first year alone. Attention seekers, the deranged, all debunked. Leads fizzle. Butchers, med students, even USC anatomy labs combed. The case starts cooling, but the nation's fascination only heats up. Dozens of suspects over the years, but none stuck like Dr. George Hill Hodel, a brilliant physician, USC Med School grad, IQ genius. He ran in Hollywood's elite, surrealist artist Man Ray, director John Huston at his wild parties in the Sowden House, a Frank Lloyd Wright Jr. designed Mayan revival mansion that looks like a temple of secrets. Hodel had the skills, surgical precision, knowledge of hemicorporectomy from his time as an STD clinic head. In 1949, he's accused and acquitted of molesting his daughter Tamar. Dark rumors swirl. 1950, LAPD bugs his home. The transcript chills. Speaking to an associate, "Supposing I did kill the Black Dahlia, they can't prove it now. They can't talk to my secretary anymore because she's dead. Then, maybe I did kill my secretary. She died mysteriously in 1945. No arrest. Why? Hodel's connections. LAPD brass city officials. He flees to the Philippines, lives abroad till 1999. The case goes cold amid scandals. A 1949 grand jury blasts LAPD for mismanagement, possible cover-ups. Enter Leslie Dillon, a bellhop with creepy case knowledge, interrogated illegally across state lines. Case collapses. Over decades, theories multiply. Mob hits, jealous lovers, even links to the Cleveland torso murders. But America keeps digging. In the 80s, James Ellroy's novel, The Black Dahlia, reignites interest. A bestseller turned 2006 film with Scarlett Johansson. Fast forward to the 21st century. DNA tech revives hope, but evidence is degraded. No matches yet. Then, Steve Hodel, George's son, a retired LAPD homicide detective, inherits his father's estate in 1999. He finds photos. Elizabeth Short, smiling, his blood runs cold. For 25 years, Steve builds an ironclad case. Handwriting experts match Hodel's script to the Avenger letters. Receipts for concrete bags, same brand found bloodstained near the body. Secret LAPD files name GH as the killer. LA Deputy DA Stephen K. reviews, "If Hodel were alive, I'd prosecute him for murder." In October 2025, Steve releases Black Dahlia Avenger Case Closed. 2025 update. 150 new pages of evidence, including fresh witness accounts and forensic ties. To Steve, it's solved. His own father, a serial killer who may have claimed 10+ victims. But not everyone agrees. In June 2025, Emmy-nominated producer Eli Frankel's book, Sisters in Death, drops a bombshell, linking Betty's murder to the 1941 killing of Kansas heiress Layla Welsh. Similar mutilations, 1,600 miles apart. Frankel names a new suspect, a cross-country predator, shifting suspicion from LA elites. YouTube docs like New Evidence Reveals the Disturbing Truth rack up millions of views in 2025, speculating on DNA breakthroughs. Podcasts dissect it weekly. Reddit threads buzz with amateur sleuths. Even in November 2025, headlines tease solved at last, but officially, LAPD's cold case unit says no. Genetic genealogy cracks 70s cases daily. Could it unlock the Dahlia? Hope lingers, but time erodes evidence. Why does the case endure in the American psyche? It's the ultimate cautionary tale. The innocent Midwestern girl devoured by Hollywood's underbelly. Post-World War II LA symbolized hope, economic boom, star power, but hid corruption, vice, inequality. Betty's story mirrors that duality, dreams crushed by darkness. It's inspired endless media, Ellroy's book, De Palma's film, TNT's I Am the Night series, fictionalizing Hodel's family, death metal band The Black Dahlia Murder, video games like LA Noire, graphic novels, tours. In LA today, crime buses stop at 39th and Norton, now quiet homes, and the Biltmore. where ghost hunters swear they see a woman in black. For families like Betty's sisters, all past now, it's unending pain. No closure. It exposes timeless American issues: media exploitation, law enforcement failures, violence against women. In 2025, amid true crime surges on Netflix and TikTok, the Dahlia feels more relevant, a mirror to our obsession with the unsolved. Elizabeth Short never got her Hollywood ending. She came chasing the American dream, fame, love, a fresh start. Instead, she became its tragic icon, cut down at 22, immortalized in infamy. Nearly 78 years later, with 2025 updates breathing new life into old theories, the quest continues. But perhaps that's the point. Some mysteries force us to confront the unknown, the evil that slips away. Betty wasn't a Dahlia. She was a daughter, a dreamer, a fighter. In remembering her, we honor what America promises and sometimes fails to deliver. The Black Dahlia isn't just a case. It's a wound on the nation's soul. And as long as dreamers flock to LA, her ghost will whisper, "Be careful what you chase in the dark."